Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. You are welcome to Morning Spring today on Western Spring Television. This is Morning Spring o'clock, 7 a.m. every weekday, where we talk about critical issues in the politics, socio-economic issues, and everything that matters here in Nigeria, nationally, subnationally, in as much is about the public good. This is where you get to hear speaking to critical stakeholders, starting with you watching us right now. We are live on Western Spring Television, channel 190 and StarTimes DTT, and also on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. NG Femi Ojo is my name. We left yesterday. We are back here today. Thank God, thank goodness. And Daniel is here. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Femi.
Right, so we are back here.
Absolutely.
To do what we do and know how to do best.
Yeah.
For the
always
public.
great to be alive. Absolutely.
It is. It is. It's a big gift.
Absolutely.
Priceless.
Yeah.
Actually.
Good morning to you, and of course, good morning to all our viewers all over the world. Thank you for joining us once again. This is Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. Is it Thursday? Yes. My mind just played a little trick on me.
Yes,
right
it
now.
is.
It's a beautiful Thursday morning. Thank you so much for joining us once again. This is Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. Daniel Emeka is my name. It's always a pleasure to be here. And of course, we do not take you for granted. Like I always say, without you, we won't be here. So once again, thank you. And rest assured that you are in for the best package this morning. We always serve you the best. Speaking truth to power, saying it as it is. And that is exactly what we do here every weekday from Monday to Friday. Once again, thank you for joining us. And Femi, it's a beautiful world, but unfortunately, I've realized that no matter what we go through in life, there is always, reasons for us to be grateful, no matter the situation. You are always better than someone else. If you think you are going through a lot, you need to hear the story of someone else. Someone else has a worse story. So no matter what people are going through, it's great. And it's also, how do I put it now? It's good to be grateful. That's the point. I was just looking at a story just a couple of seconds ago, just before we came on air. Somewhere in India, a newborn baby, Femi, was buried alive just because of her gender. That's still the probability. I'm still looking into the details of that story. Newborn baby. Why on earth would someone bury a newborn baby? Innocent child. What has that child done? But thankfully, she was found alive. She was rescued by a pig farmer. She has some, animal bites on her. But again, it's quite bizarre, burying a newborn baby alive. Quite unfortunate. No matter what it is, I mean, life is beautiful. You never can tell. The person you're trying to eliminate might just become the savior of that family or that community or that country. So whatever it is, keep showing up because you never know what will happen next.
All right, it's quite unfortunate. And by the way, we live in a very interesting world, either pleasantly interesting or awkwardly interesting. Now, this story that you just told us is quite bizarre, actually. Horrible, horrific, and terrible. It should not happen. Nobody should be buried alive for any reason. Okay, even people who suffer natural disasters, you still see emergency workers, first responders attending to them to get them off the rubble. Or, if it's a collapse of a building and all of those things. Talk less of somebody taking a human, actually a baby, to heap sons on that baby because of what, gender, whatever, whatever reasons. Even when people are sentenced to death, I'm not sure part of it is to bury them alive. Actually, I've never heard that, actually. Okay, but then it's a bizarre one. Terrible things happen. And by the way, the good part is the baby, has been rescued, actually. And we hope the baby will survive. And actually, maybe one day we'll tell the story of how, life still, as we say, life still has, a plan for him. In this part of the world, we'll say God has a plan for him or her. Is it he or she? Her, yeah. Yes. Right. So, but then things, that's in India, even around us, terrible things are happening. But then life happens to everybody. But then what I usually tell friends, actually, we are just hanging out, is life is hard already. So when you are in the company of your loved ones, people that you like, tone down. let everybody be okay. Feel free, roll the sleeves, and let everybody share whatever they are going through. Some people actually, away from that, what they need is just somebody to talk to, even when they don't have the solution to that problem. The moment they express, sometimes they feel better about themselves, and then you see advices or interventions all of those places. But then that's life. Talking about life, political life in Nigeria is becoming interesting by today. 2 days ago, it was Peter Mba living with everything called PDP in Enugu State. Just yesterday, we learned the Bayelsa State Governor, Doye has resigned his membership of the PDP with everyone connected to him, Speaker, the House of Assembly members, and all of them. What we know now, if we are to stay by the official report, and what he said is they have resigned.
We all know where they're going to.
I don't know where they're going to.
There's no point.
As far as this money is concerned.
It has been speculated that he will be defecting to the APC, Mba and Doyediri. So now that he has resigned from the PDP, where do you think he will go to?
Now, the thing is...
SDP?
Well, he might want to start another movement by himself. Okay. But then the question is, the focus, he has left the PDP. And for what he said, using his words, for the obvious reasons. That's what he said. For obvious reasons. Yeah. So now that he has left, and many persons, his predecessor spoke on the matter, Seriake Dixon, and he said, quite unfortunate that the governor, to his credit, reached out to him severally to tell him of his decision. But he, as Seriake Dixon, could not find anything tenable in the reasons he has given. But that's his thing. He said, if you are saying a place it's not good, it's not making sense, there are issues, is that not why you are governors? You don't know why those persons are leaders, that you're supposed to fix whatever platform brought you people into power. Oh, there's a problem. There's another problem. You move, and then you are leaving, and then you are going. Said, for him, Seriake Dixon, they can't find any reason why the man should leave, but then that's his decision. And he just later, after that, the Oshokomala himself, the Roman don't get fried rice. That's Ayo Fayoshe spoke on the matter and said, oh, Seriake Dixon that you are seeing, there are still 3 governors more that will move. And, PDP only have 8 governors now. Yeah. So it's a 3 will move. The 5 that will remain, he said, after the presidential election, even during the presidential election, he said by 4 p.m., all of them will carry their scorecard and go and meet Asiwaju and say, sir, this is what we have done. This is how we have performed in your party. He says it's as good as that. And PDP is as good as dead. That's why
it's quite unfortunate. It speaks a lot about the quality of opposition we are having in Nigeria. Look at PDP, for God's sake. Look at where they are right now. It's quite unfortunate. And, well, Peter Obi also spoke. He said, well, that despite all the defections, that no one should think anyone can capture any region. Because some are saying that, oh, the APC has captured the Southeast. He's saying it doesn't really matter. He said that Peter Mba is his friend, that's Enugu State Governor, is his friend, and for reasons best known to him, he has decided to defect to the APC, but that doesn't mean that any party, and that's referring to APC, can actually capture any region.
Who said that?
Some are saying Peter Ruby, some are saying the APC has now captured the Southeast. He said, no, that's not true. Well, now, people can defect, that leaders can defect, governors can defect, but the power belongs to the people, that the people will decide who they'll vote for.
All right.
During elections.
I wouldn't expect Peter Obi to say less, actually, because he's an active participant, but we know the politics that we have in Nigeria. And if actually 2 days before we hit the break button now, if actually the politics that we have right now is still what we have, In fact, what Fauci said, although I don't believe that, but political reality suggests that he might have some reason. He said the 2027 election is as good as done, or you're only waiting. That's his own calculation. Because he said, who is remaining? In the Southeast, only 2 governors are remaining that have not joined the PDP. That's P2B and, the APC. Soludo in Anambra, and the Labour man, Alex Oti. That's the only people.
Both of them are supporting Mr. President.
You see the Asiwaju cap on Soludo head. In the Southwest, remaining Adeleke and Seyi Makinde. In the North Central, I think it's already maybe Caleb Mutwang and maybe the Adamawa State Governor, somebody, and some of them, they are in the PDP by body, their support. There are two hands in the
just
air.
Like Adeleke. Just
of
like
course,
Adeleke,
his own is even public. You know, but you know, Fauci talked about the ADC and said they are joking, they are playing. It's all of these defections. If actually they are a serious party, have you seen any rep member go to the APC? Have you seen anybody join them? It's just all right. But then that's political calculation. But many political watchers are saying this is not good for democracy in Nigeria. The moment everybody hits towards one place, what's the rest of the people? 2/3 of the APC are now at the Senate.
Senate, exactly. They have 2/3 majority.
So if they say everybody close your eyes, you will close your eyes. Because even the ones that are not part of the 2/3, they are nowhere to be found. They are not part of the 2/3. They are not standing for anything. Every AK market day, we are hearing defection. All right, it's an interesting thing. But then one will say, is Asiwaju putting guns to their neck?
That's the point. No one can blame Mr. President. That's my point.
Maybe not literally.
Politicians should stand up exactly. They are being weak. So when we have weak men who can stand their ground, then all of a sudden everyone is pointing fingers at Mr. President. And I've been asking that question over and over again. Is he putting guns to their head? The answer is no. So no one should blame Mr. President. All
right, we hit the brakes and let you see more of these interesting stories and headlines from the front pages of our major dailies. Today's Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. You will love it. Stay with us. Thank you. And Daily Trust has these big bold headlines screaming. Fuel price climbs to 1,000 naira as queues resurface. Fuel price climbs to 1,000 naira as queues resurface. That's no good news at all. And Nigeria loses bid to host Commonwealth Games. Nigeria loses bid to host Commonwealth Games. All right. And Odinga's death creates vacuum in Kenya's opposition. The man, perennial, contestant and key, not just key, the leading opposition figure in Kenyan politics, Raila Odinga, has died. Oh, actually, yeah, he died in London, in India. We learned he went for health vacation and all of those things. And while taking a walk in India, he slumped. And he died at 80, actually. The man has always been the main opposition person to whoever has been. I've known Raila Odinga for like 20 years.
Absolutely.
But then it is the key opposition figure there is dead. And that's it. Now, Jonathan decries abandonment of project. Jonathan decries abandonment of project. Quite a terrible one, and that speaks to the lack of continuity, in governance in Nigeria. Even when some persons of the same party, exchange batons between themselves, let's say the party is party BB, and then the person succeeding the outgoing governor, it's still the same party BB. Sometimes you get to see they don't continue the same thing. Same thing happens with Aragbeshola and Oyetola here, Osun State. That some of those projects were just there. Nothing. All these, all that, nothing.
Some of them even try to upturn everything.
You are just talking about Osun State here. Some of those things were reversed, either in good faith or otherwise. It's just as terrible as that. And sometimes you seldom see continuity in governance as far as the state is concerned. Now, beside that, you have a picture of the member House of Rep representing Bugmadi Patani Federal Constituency in Delta State, Nicholas Mufu, the chairman, Tantita Security Limited, Owezadel Epomopolo, known as Tom Polo, the government himself, Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, founder, and many persons are there, including the Delta State Governor, Sheriff Oborowori, at the launching and fundraising ceremony for the Delta State Security Trust Fund in Asaba yesterday. Delta State Security Trust Fund in Asaba. Security is very important. Absolutely. And one key thing from that is the announcement and donation of 10 billion naira from Mr. Tompolo to the trust fund. Did you hear me well? 10 billion naira, actually. When it was done, the governor had to go give him a warm hogs. I say that's a 10 billion naira one. I mean, worth of hog. That's quite some money.
Yeah, absolutely.
From an individual. 10 billion naira.
Tom Polo has been a wealthy man, for a long time. These people have access to the, to the flow. You know what I'm saying? Before he became chairman of Tantita, why do you think he was given that contract in the first place? They know he has
from the place.
access, exactly. You understand?
And he knows almost everybody.
Access, exactly. So sometimes when you are accusing someone of being a thief, the best thing is to say, okay, you watch it for us.
Whatever, yeah.
Please
help us watch
exactly.
So that, and you incentivize it. Actually, which many persons are saying that's one of the reasons why Asari Dokubo has remained angry, because he believes he should be given a share of that pie, actually. But everything belongs to Mr. Tantita, 10 billion naira for, the big heart. Delta State.
Anyway, he made the money from the state as well. So,
well, interesting.
It's a good one.
We hope the money will be judiciously utilized, actually. Because, in some countries of the world, this kind of donations, especially when they sound big like this, even if you have good intention, they are still probed.
Absolutely.
They know the source.
Investigated.
Where, what source did you get this money from, actually, even with your good intention? But here, nobody cares. 10 billion naira, you need to see that clip and see the applause. Woo, if I saw somebody dancing, actually. 10 billion naira. The security in Delta State. Now, court quashes suspension of political gatherings. Court quashes suspension of political gatherings and top strip. Sultan seeks social media regulation at Ulama meeting. Sultan seeks social media regulation at Ulama meeting. What exactly does that mean? All right, you get to see that on page 6 of the Daily Trust. And PDP governors now 8 as Diri resigns. PDP governors now 8 as Diri resigns. All right, an inflation drop despite food price reduction, purchasing power low. Okay, because we learned there is, the statistics is showing that inflation is reducing.
Yeah.
But Daily Trust is saying, despite food price reduction, purchasing power low.
I don't really care about the figures now. I saw that inflation dropped to 18.02%.
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't really make any sense. I'm in
lowest in
Nigeria, and
Nigeria.
I go to the mall, I go to the supermarket, I've not seen reduction in prices. So how has it affected
That's the issue. Why do you keep going to the mall and supermarket? Buy from the neighborhood.
Even
and
my
improve
food
the
has not
security.
increased the quantity of
Why are you going to the mall? Because at mall you get to pay VAT. That's just the thing. All right, but that will be all from the Daily Trust newspaper.
And from the front page of the Daily Trust, we take a quick look at the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. On the Punch newspaper, Hurricane Tinubu, mass defections ignites one-party state fears. Hurricane Tinubu, mass defections ignites one-party state fears. Talking about Hurricane Tinubu right there. That's the banner headline. You'll find details on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Below that, we have a rider, Atiku Obi kick as Tinubu tightens grip on South with governor's defections. APC awaits Diri, Oti, Kefas, Mufwang. Quite interesting. Family, we're talking about it. Now APC is awaiting Mufwang, Kefas, Mufwang of Plateau, Kefas of that's Taraba. Yeah. Then of course Oti, Alex Oti. But quite interesting. And now they are blaming Tinubu. Come on. So what has the man done? Is he forcing them to join the APC? Come on. I think leaders should be held responsible. I mean, it doesn't make any logical sense to be pointing fingers at Mr. President. He's not forcing. I've said it before. He's not forcing. And in as much as I'm not his biggest fan, but the fact remains that Mr. President is not forcing anyone to join the APC.
Some said maybe it's been doing that tacitly, logistically, and all of those things, But then, either we are going to blame somebody or not, it's the person that has backed his backs, actually. And in fact, for Senator Dixon, just like I said the other time, he said he could not understand any reason why, because Doyediri is a second-term governor. Second term.
So what's he looking for?
He's not seeking re-election. Yeah. So what exactly? And the man said he has resigned his membership of the PDP with all of his guys and cabinet for obvious reasons. That means Bayelsa people supposed to ask him, what is that reason? Exactly.
Yeah.
You have just been ambiguous by saying,
it's just like someone like Sheyi Makinde resigning from PDP.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't make any sense.
Second time governor. What are you looking for? Actually, well, it is what it is. And it's a matter of time. Interesting days. You know, somebody said yesterday and said by 2027 or 2026, as it's been proposed right now, maybe we'll end up having a referendum of only APC and Tinubu.
Someone even said by 2026,
and we'll have only yes or no. Do you want to vote or not?
Someone said by 2026, there'll be 30 APC governors. Quite interesting. Well, it is what it is.
More than 20 now.
Yeah, there are 24 now. Yeah. 24 APC governors, and they're, waiting more governors to join them.
Now, this man that has resigned right now, he has resigned his membership of the PDP. He hasn't pronounced where he's going, but the law doesn't allow you to be a governor without a party. So what is happening now, right now?
Because we all know he won't go to the SDP.
No, I'm just saying, even if he's going to go to the APC as being touted, right now, he's no more a member of the PDP. Yet, he is no a member of another party. The Electoral Act and the laws of the land doesn't allow independent candidacy. So where is he?
A big question.
That's a question.
That's a big question. Quite interesting. Away from that banner red line, moving on to other stories. Still on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. On the top strip, Jonathan slams successor for abandoning Bayelsa project. Jonathan slams successor for abandoning Bayelsa project. You find details of that story on page 14. Talking about former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, slamming his successor. We all know who that is, for abandoning Bayelsa project. But again, I think he should take responsibility for that. When he was president, he did not focus on his own region, on his own state. He was busy developing the north, developing northern Nigeria, in hopes that they will vote him, for second term. But unfortunately, he lost that election. Now he's blaming his successor for not developing Bayelsa.
Well, it will have been unfair for him to focus on his region as well, at the expense of other regions.
Not at the expense. He actually abandoned his own, not at the expense. I was talking to someone from, a lot of people from Bayelsa, they don't like him. That's the truth.
Okay.
So this guy, I was in transit some time ago, and this guy from Bayelsa, from Jonathan's hometown, he was heaping curses on the man, saying that the man just I should come to his place and see what's going on. That the man just abandoned that place. He abandoned his own area because he was trying to be a good man and focus on other places.
Well,
and they still betrayed him,
isn't it?
That's the point. They still betrayed him.
All right.
So again, I think you should take responsibility for that. When you have an opportunity to do something for your you do it. You don't wait for your successor because they will disappoint you. Anyway, that's that about that. Moving on to other stories. Still on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. Presidential jet still unsold 4 months after listing. Presidential jet still unsold 4 months after listing. You'll find details of that story on page 7. Femi, if you're interested in that presidential jet, it is still unsold. You might just bid for it and let's see.
I will talk to my lawyers.
Absolutely, you might just get it. Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you.
Away from that, still on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. Inflation drops to 18.02% in 6-month streak. Inflation drops to 18.02% in 6-month streak. You'll find details of that story on page 24. And I say again, stop trying to explain to us with figures. We want to see the impact. What's the purchasing power of the Naira right now? That's what Nigerians are interested about. Away from that, moving on to other stories. Senate screens new INEC chair Amopitan today. Senate screens new INEC chair Amopitan today. You find details of that story on page 22. And on the bottom strip, Lagos rejects National Assembly's Central Gaming Bill. Lagos rejects National Assembly's Central Gaming Bill. You find details of that story on page 6. 4 arraigned over murder of Osun LG chair. 4 arraigned over murder of Osun local government chair. You find details of that story on page 5. House probes $35 million modular refinery project. House probes $35 million modular refinery project. You find details of that story on page 24. And I'll be all from the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning.
All right, I guess that's much you can take on the headline segment this morning. We take a quick break. When we return, something interesting happened in this state. We try to look into that. Stay with us.